These early June days have been quite hectic here at the farm, as the girls have been very productive, laying plenty of eggs. Perhaps I should set up a farm stand. While it has been quite busy, I have been trying hard to safeguard a piece that I have found. St. Francis de Sales, the Bishop of Geneva in the 16th century, often wrote about inner peace being the foundation of a faithful life. He once advised his parishioners, "Do not lose your inner peace for anything whatsoever, not even if your whole world seems upset." There is a fox that has been around upsetting my hens, and so I keep watch. Perhaps the cows that have entered into the back pasture now of Old Stonewall Farm will keep the fox at bay. The hens and the roosters, though, are not happy that these visitors have come so close to their home. Peace. Where can we find it? How do we protect it? I believe we begin by slowing down and doing the things that give us joy. I recently have become very interested in 18th century Dutch women's fashions, which they mixed bold patterns together. And so I paired my latest 18th century jacket with my sundress, and I think it works. I also added a new courting candle to my prayer time. This wrought iron candle holder was popular from the 1600s to the 1800s, and it was a coil spiral in which you can control the amount of time in which the candle burned. Now, the romanticized story of the courting candle is that fathers would use it to monitor the time in which a young man would spend with their daughters. But the reality was that the coil design allowed the candle to burn to the very end of the wick. The courting candle, though, has added a special element to my time of courting God, my prayer time. And it has been this very time of prayer that has opened my eyes to a new direction in life and which has brought me this peace that passes all understanding. Welcome, my friends, to Old Stonewall Farm. It is a joy to have you here with me today. And for all of those who are newly subscribed, a very warm welcome to you. I always say that there is room here in my old kitchen in this house that is the oldest house in the village I live in Vermont. It predates the Revolutionary War, so around 1760. And I always say that there is plenty of room for everyone to pull up a chair and be with me for a bit here at the old farm table. You have come to a community that has grown over the years, and it is a special place for me. It is a place to remember that you are not alone in the world, that we, even though we are not physically together, that we are all on this journey together, and that we are here to support one another. So many of you have complimented me on how peaceful I have been, but I will let you know that I have been working very hard to safeguard that place of peace that I have found. Peace doesn't come easily, and in fact, when you do finally find it, you have to be very careful and very aware to make sure that nothing comes to rob you of that peace. Now, that's not to say that there won't be any challenges or confrontations or anything like that. There will always be those things. But what we have to become aware of is that once you find that place of peace, protect it. Protect it with all your might, because what I have discovered that the world will try its best to take that peace away from you if you allow outside forces to do that. I am now curtailing a lot of my email correspondence. I was once very addicted to email, constantly checking it. And in my recent journey to step away from all of the social media noise, curtailing my Facebook page, doing a lot of things to just stay off of online platforms, whatever it might be, I have now taken a very good long look at my email. I'm getting to the point where I feel like I am just really stepping back in time, not only in the creation of my 18th century jackets, which, by the way, this is my latest one that I have made. I made this jacket without fitting it over the 18th century undergarments, which the patterns call for that perfect fit. I decided just to make this so that it would be a jacket I could throw over a sundress or whatever I have on and enjoy it. But I'm stepping back. And I'm telling people, if you need to get a hold of me, call me. If you want to stay in touch with me, believe it or not, write a letter. I want to get back to the art of letter writing. I was watching this series recently on TV. It came out, maybe 10 years ago, 6 years ago, and it was based in the 18th century England. And of course, I loved all of the dresses, and I'm like paying attention to how they're made. But what really captured my imagination was every time they wanted to correspond with somebody, they sat down with the quill and the ink and they wrote a letter and they folded it, and then they had their servant, their maid, their footman, whoever it was, deliver it to the person. And so the person would come to the door and there's a letter here from, and I loved it. Can you imagine living like that? Just sit down and compile their thoughts, not just a quick knee-jerk reaction to a text or an email. I think we speak too quickly before thinking, but you would compose a letter, a note on parchment, and you would have somebody deliver it. So I am curtailing my email, and I'm so glad because once again, there was just this email lingering from a situation that I know I am walking away from. And it's just, for a second, I'm telling you this without trying to divulge too much information because you don't need to know all the details. Well, maybe some of you want to know the details, but if you do, send me a letter. But all seriousness, I'm telling you this because when I received that email, my peace began to shatter a little bit. That same old feeling started coming back to me, this I don't know, this not shaky feeling, but this anxiousness. And as soon as I read that email and as soon as I began feeling that again, I'm like, no, I'm putting my foot down. No. So I didn't respond. I realized that this peace that I found, and all of you saying how happy I look, I realize that it's fragile. I can easily let it slip away. I came across a new word that I never heard before. And I'm sure it's been out there, and I'm sure people have written about this, but for me, it's brand new to my ears. And it is called the art of underreacting. We all tend to be pros at overreacting, right? Well, this is the fine art of learning how to underreact. And I thought about that when this email that I received started to try to steal my peace away from me. And that anxiousness that I was feeling, I'm like, okay, I'm beginning to overreact. I'm beginning to let this have an adverse effect on me, I'm beginning to let things that are beyond my control try to rattle me. And I'm so glad that I recognized that so quickly, because then I was able to take a deep breath, delete it, and learn how to underreact, to ask myself, is this really worth how I'm feeling, starting to feel? No. Is this really important in the big picture of life? No, not at all. In fact, that email is so insignificant to where God has placed me. And I realized that nothing like that has the power to rattle my spirit. And if it does rattle my spirit, then I need to take a step and examine why. What is really at the heart of all this? So I'm beginning to curtail my email as well. Now, that being said, if you do have a prayer request and I invite you to email me your request, I will respond, but not right away. So please give me a grace period. I am a little bit slower when it comes to email. But I really implore all of us to examine all the things that we have been doing, how we keep in touch with one another, how we communicate with one another, the things that we rely on, and ask ourselves, is it really healthy? Is this adding more stress to my day? And for me, technology was adding more stress to my day. And I know that I need to really stop using it as much. And that realization is what is leading me in a new direction in life, to nurture the home, to be a homemaker, to spend my time doing things with my hands, kneading the dough for bread, washing the linens in a wash tub. Yes, I do that sometimes. Dipping the candles. These are the things that slow me down. And in that slowing down, I find that I have the strength to underreact. Because if we are rushing around too fast, if we are answering people too quickly, if we feel like we are always needing to be on with a response to everything in the world, then we're not really giving any thought to what we are saying. So slow down, think, breathe, ponder, and ask yourself, is this something that needs to change? Is this something that I just need to say goodbye to? Is this an email I just simply need to delete? Finding this peace that I am now very protective of was a very long process. But it was a process that began to really show progress this past Lenten season. The 40 days leading up to Easter, I decided that for my Lenten practice, I was going to give God 8 minutes a day. Now, I know that might sound like a random number, 8 minutes, but hear me out. I came across these little meditation candles, and I thought, oh wow, I could make little tapers like this. But I came across these meditation candles that burn for about 8 minutes. And so I ordered a box, and in the box were 40 candles, perfect, 40 days of Lent. And I laugh because God deserves way more than 8 minutes, but this was a start for me because I vowed in the morning I was going to first thing, light a candle, be still, thank God, and just go where the Spirit is going. It was hard at first to do that because my morning routine was, up to that point, to get up and quickly start my day after doing the chicken chores and taking care of the dog and feeding the dog and then making my breakfast. I would quickly jump onto the computer, yes, to check emails, and then jump onto my work computer to double check all the meetings I had that day, what deadlines are pressing, what stories I need to write. And I would just roll out of bed and just jump right into the chaos of the day. I am not going to check any email, any phone text, any work email. I'm not going to check social media. I'm not going to check the YouTube algorithms and, how many views did I get? I'm not going to check any data. I'm not going to check anything. I didn't even check the weather for the day. Usually I go on to weather.com. I'm now at the point where I just look out and I'm like, okay, it's going to be sunny. Okay, it looks like rain. Another good thing about getting older is that when my knees are hurting, I know it's going to rain. So who needs weather.com when you have bad knees? So I decided 8 minutes a day until this candle burns down, I'm just going to be totally available to God. It was hard at first because my mind kept going to all the things I needed to do and this anxiousness to jump into emails like, oh my gosh, people are waiting for me. But I fought all that. And I'm like, no, God, here I am, all of me. And I know that is how I need to live. We need to live. We are here to give God glory. We're not here for our own glory. We're here to glorify God in everything we say and do, how we live, how we love. So at first it was hard because my mind kept going to other things. But by the fourth day, I would say no, by the seventh day, by a week into this, something began to happen. My racing mind began to slow down. And as this candle burned for only 8 minutes, and I stared at it, and I watched how the flame flickered when the wind blew through the cracks in the window, what began to happen was my creativity started to come back. After I burnt through all the 40 meditation candles, I knew that, making these little meditation candles would take a lot of time and a lot of beeswax and so forth. I decided to get a courting candle. Yes, a courtship candle in which you can control the height of the candle. So if I move it up, you have that much time until the flame reaches this first line. So I decided I was going to use this courtship candle or courting candle to be my new morning meditation candle, my morning prayer time with God candle. And so I set it to a certain height and I light it. And then I vow that I will be totally present. I will empty all of my goals. I will empty all of my things I have to do today, erase them, and just present to God in the morning all of me. That, my friends, is where I think the peace that I've been searching for finally started to take root. Oh my gosh, I just thought about this. How appropriate that I decided to get an 18th century courting candle or courtship candle for my time with God. This is my courtship time with God. I love that. I love that thought that this is my time to really be with the one who loves me, with the light shining in the dark. A reminder that love will always light the way. Wow, I just thought about that now, how appropriate to use a courtship candle for my morning time with God. So that is where I started to find peace again, by really emptying myself and being present to God, and curtailing all social media. And now even my email, I decided to set a boundary around, because peace can be taken away from us so quickly if we overreact to things, if we allow outside influences to chip away at our peace. But we have the power through God's help, through the power of the Spirit. We have that power to say no to all that wants to knock us down. I'm going to say that again. We have the power through God's strength to say no to all those things that are seeking to hurt us, harm us, knock us down, rob us of any peace, make us unsure of ourselves. We have the power through God to say no. I know who I am. I am a beloved child of God. God sees all, knows all. God created me. God knows I have a purpose. It's time for you to find that peace. So start by carving out 8 minutes, 8 minutes of complete alone time with God in quiet. And it's okay if your mind races or you don't hear anything. I beg you, just try it. Try it. 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, however long it might be. I now, when I set the candle to like this first ring here, it's about 15 minutes. Can I give more to God? Yes, and I should. But let's just put that aside, okay? Give whatever you can to God. And then make sure you protect whatever peace you might find. Protect it, because it can so easily be destroyed. Well, until next time, may the light of God's love shine brightly upon you, and truly may you find a peace that passes all understanding. I will pray for that for all of you. And when you do find it, know that you need to protect it each and every day, for it's precious. But you need to be aware of protecting it. And we do that by being aware and by always turning to God, saying, God, help me. Help me this day. Be the best that I can to keep this peace, to not overreact, to love, and to learn when to let go of all that seeks to rob us of joy. I can't wait to see you all again, because I have another project I am working on. No, not another 18th century jacket, but something else I'm tinkering around with. So until next time, God bless.